As the scrubbing of Ashburn continues and we try to clear the air of Commanders Park of any traces of Dan Snyder, another former vice president of the Washington Commanders has been fired on today's episode of When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong. This is Rambling About Washington. I am Rael Robinson. Let's talk about it.
This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's Rael Robinson, and today is Thursday, September 5th, and the NFL kicks off tonight. Washington has their season opener in a couple days. It wouldn't be Washington if some type of off-the-field, nonsensical extracurricular activity wouldn't be attached to the brand name. But with new ownership, a new front office, and a completely new culture being set here in DC, we are exterminating all of the bullshit that attached to Dan Snyder from the organization. Vice President of Content, or should I say the former Vice President of Content for the Washington Commanders, Rael Enteen, was fired as most expected on Thursday morning, according to a spokesperson for the team. We saw the team come out and issue a statement after the video was put out by O'Keefe Media the other day. The team said the language used in the video runs counter to our values as the Commanders organization. We have suspended the employee pending an internal investigation and will reserve further comment at this time. His comments were a little damning. He was talking crazy on that jump. Not only was he talking about the brand and talking about the commissioner and one of its most powerful owners in Jerry Jones, he specifically targets the black players on the team. He pretty much called fans low-life, uneducated degenerates. He called the black players homophobic, racist. He was getting his shit off. All of that to try to get some ass, and look at that. You got to scrub up that resume, brush it up, and hop on LinkedIn. You hate to see it, but this is what you get for talking crazy to try to get some booty, my boy. You throwing shade at the black community, the black players on the team, and the fans. So fans are low-life degenerate. Black players are pretty much hood babies and crack babies that don't like gay people. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about right now? He specifically says fans and NFL players are dumb as all hell. High school educated alcoholics, word for word, during an undercover date with some journalist from O'Keefe Media, the former vice president of content. Man, how are you caught on hidden This feels like an interview. This is not a date. I was told this was supposed to be like a date type environment. Even the questions Shawty's asking him, they all sound like there's intention behind them. How did he get caught slipping in 4K for the whole world to see? And I've met Rael a few times. Rael handled my interview when I did the Making the Brand video when they were incorporating fans in the rebrand, or at least telling us they were doing so back in 2021. Most of the NFL fans, I would say, are high school educated alcoholics, likening them to mouth breathers.
Like, what did he say fuck me for?
Man. He set his Twitter profile to private, took down his personal website, and removed his LinkedIn profile picture in lieu of the release of the undercover footage from the interview. He said when he had to describe the Commanders' rosters, a big chunk of the roster is very low-income African Americans that come from a community that is inherently very homophobic. I love hip hop. Hip hop is very homophobic. It's a cultural thing, and I hope it gets better. What was he trying to accomplish here? Somebody help me out in what he was trying to accomplish. What is this grandstanding, holier than thou logic he thought was going to come across in this interview, whatever this situation was supposed to be? He criticized the NFL's progressive initiatives as performative. I'm not not mad at him with this because the NFL gonna do anything to cash that check. But can you necessarily be caught on tape speaking about your employer this way? My job ain't bullshit. I'm not about to come on camera and start criticizing them. If you see me on camera, I love my job. Y'all are the best. I love every single one of y'all. This man is on camera talking about the NFL social justice initiatives and efforts are performance for the sake of public perception. When asked about the NFL's commitment to Black Lives Matter, pride, diversity, equity, and inclusion, he goes on to just say it's all a bunch of bullshit. He goes on to talk about Jerry Jones. He says Roger Goodell is a $50 million puppet, and Jerry Jones really runs the NFL. And there's harboring deep-seated biases. I think he hates gay people and black people about Jerry Jones. Listen, I do not think all of the messaging here is incorrect or not valid. The messenger and the fact that you were caught on tape saying this while you work for the Shield is the issue. And not only who you work for, but the specific team you work for. We just got out of our building the most toxic, controversy-fueled, idiot sports owner in the history of sports owners. You worked for Dan Snyder. I'm sure his severance package is beautiful because he knows where probably most of the bodies have been buried at formerly known Redskins Park during the reign of Dan Snyder. But you work for Washington, where they're cleaning out everything. Did you know your job was up for jeopardy? Did you know you were on your way out the door? Because if you didn't, I question your motives for your comments here. You're talking to a journalist, my guy. Clearly, this was not a Tinder or Hinge date. I don't know if ass was on the table for my boy Rael, but he crashed out on his own job, his own company. He said a lot of controversial things. There are things that you can say, but in the weakened, softened society of 2024, when speaking about your place of employment, you don't want to make race, you don't want to make sexual orientation or make controversial claims of the sort. So I come back and say the messaging is not 100% false. He's not making up a bunch of shit. The messenger and the fact that he's speaking about his employers, the team, and the league, that is a huge mistake on his part. If you don't want a job at the end of the day, sure, go ahead, unload the clip, crash out, why don't you? But this is a surefire example of when keeping it real goes wrong. If you watch the Dave Chappelle show back in the day, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This video should have started out by saying, if you're reading this or seeing this right now, I completely fucked up. I bet you're wondering how I got here right now because, man, best of luck to Rael on his future endeavors. He's probably done as an NFL vice president of content or anything of the sort for the Shield. They will have him blacklisted, bamboozled, and exiled into the shadow realms because he will never work for the NFL or anything associated with the NFL again. Was it worth it? Did you get her? Did you pull the number? Did you take her home with you at the end of the day? Was it worth it? Did you put your game down, flip it and reverse it? That's what I'm trying to figure out because mouth breathers, uneducated high school degenerates, pretty much called players crack babies and hood babies that hate gays. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, Rael? But I'm glad we eradicated the situation. He was terminated from employment today. I'm pretty sure there are some non-disclosures and some things attached to it. I'm here for getting rid of everything that is attached to that snake that we got rid of over a year ago. This is now Josh Harris's Washington. Everything that was connected to Dan Snyder, get it out of my organization. You say controversial things about your employer, you get fired. Point blank, period. Let's talk about fucking football for the rest of the week. Tonight, the NFL season goes underway, make sure you hop on my channel. I'll be going live through the whole Ravens-Chiefs game watch party. Tomorrow, we're going to do it again for a watch party for the Packers and Eagles game live for Brazil. We're going live all day Sunday afternoon for an all-day watch party to kick off the season, and then through Washington at Tampa Bay on Sunday. That's all I got for right now. Let me know what you think of this Rael Enteen situation, and did Washington handle it correctly? Let's move forward to a controversy-free Washington Commanders organization. That's all I got for right now. It's your boy Rael Robinson. Until next time, here's a word from our sponsors and VA757 legend Michael Vick.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.